Let's move on, though.
Yes. Newcastle, they win.
No. Tottenham Hotspur. We're going there, Lucas. We're going to that tire fire.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a mess.
They're a mess. It ends 1-1 between Burnley and Tottenham. Tottenham are a mess, but you have to give credit to Burnley. Yeah. They've been damn good
I'm just talking about Spurs in general. And they're going into Leipzig.
They're going to suffer.
Boy, that's going to be rough.
Wasn't there controversy on the first goal?
On the Burnley goal?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought some people were questioning if there was a handball.
I'm not.
On the.
I did not watch this one.
I think so. It wasn't. I don't think it was too bad. Like it was a little bit, but like it kind of like took a deflection and went off his arm. I think. And
Okay.
Burnley haven't lost since January.
What?
Their last loss was 3-0 against Chelsea. Since then, they've beaten Leicester, they've beaten United, they've drew Arsenal, beaten Southampton, beaten Bournemouth, drew Newcastle, and now drew Spurs.
They're only 2 points behind Spurs now.
They've had a fantastic run of form.
They're in 10th place. They're going for Europe.
Again.
Waz will be so upset.
Sean Dyche is a bloody mastermind. Like,
yeah.
You have to give this guy credit.
100%.
And they're going against City next week, so that could be a bit of a rough one.
You can hate against their style, but you can...
That's what I saw one guy who said, you give Sean Dyche attacking style and power, and he'll make you into a center back. Like,
yeah.
He's very defensive, but you know what? That's how this team survives. Defense first.
Yeah, you got these lower teams that you like to say, they need to be good defensively against 100%. These teams like they call the top 6 right now. Yeah. Still.
The goal does come through Chris Wood. I thought it was an okay finish. I liked it.
Okay.
And Dele Alli, he does make it 1-1 from a penalty in the 50th minute.
But nothing else from Spurs.
Nothing else from Spurs.
In terms of goals.
No.
Spurs are a bit of a mess. I mean, we should talk about midweek.
Hang on, we should also talk about Mourinho's.
After this game, Mourinho said that Ndombele is pretty much at fault for all Spurs issues. Basically, Mourinho's found his new Paul Pogba.
And
great. It's one of my favorite players.
It's one of Lucas' favorite players. Lucas can have a list of players, and me and Liam will make fun of all the time. Not because they're bad players. They're actually great players.
I don't hate Ndombele.
We just find it funny.
He's been quiet since his move. He hasn't done much. And
I mean, the times I've seen him play, I thought he's influenced the game quite well, except for one occasion. But I don't watch every Spurs game. I don't know
He hasn't been given a ton of play time.
Unfortunately, I'd only watched the highlights for this game, so I actually didn't really see how he played. The first half. He got taken off the first half.
Yeah.
Same with, who was it that got taken off as well?
Skip?
Yeah, and Mourinho's like... Yeah. Or he was like, he didn't directly say Ndombele, but he's also like, well, I'm not going to criticize like a 19-year-old for how he played. So
I think Mourinho had some problems with Ndombele earlier this season when he was too afraid to start a game because he didn't want to get injured again.
I think there's a lot of issues with Jose Mourinho. You know, we praise the guy a lot, and I love the guy.
We love him,
but you have to ask what is happening with him.
Now, some players...
Spurs are going through a rough time. They do have a lot of injuries.
Spurs as a club are going through a rough time, but Mourinho, I think, is going through a rough time.
I mean, Ndombele in Lyon last season, there was times where he didn't give his 100% at times, and he was called out for it by the Lyon president too. But some players, they react better to reactions like that.
Yep.
I'm not sure how Ndombele is going to react to that. Hopefully it's positive.
It just depends if Mourinho actually wants to play him again, like in the next match, for example.
Well, he's going to have to play him again. Look at Spurs' injuries.
Yeah, that's the thing. He doesn't have a ton
Maybe
of
he comes out
options in the
against midweek Leipzig and has a great game.
And he's also one of the record signings for Spurs.
Yeah, I think he is a record signing.
Yeah.
He is, yeah.
Either him or Lo Celso. I don't remember.
Can we talk about midweek, though?
What about midweek do you want to talk about?
I just want to talk about after the game, really.
Oh.
Spurs get knocked out of the cup by Norwich, who are bottom of the Premier League. They go out on penalties.
Shocking.
But after the game, an incident happens. Supposedly, Eric Dier's family was being taunted during the game, which is not good. Don't do that. Yeah. But he jumps into the crowd and goes up like 20 rows to confront the person who was being taunting him.
And that person runs away.
I've never seen anything like that.
I've seen it in the NBA.
I've never seen a player go into the stands and confront a fan. I've seen Cantona's kick. That happened.
I've seen Patrice Evra's kick.
Patrice Evra kicked a man. But to go not only in like the first row or the first like 5 rows, but to go like up 20 rows up,
he was climbing.
The man was like leaping.
He's on a mission.
Do you think he's gonna get suspended?
No, it's okay. I don't think.
Did anything really happen from it?
All he was confronting, he didn't hit the guy. He didn't.
I think the guy ran away.
The guy was like took off, but
You
he's
should
still
be afraid of like. Those guys are ripped, honestly. Still, like
But
they're
the thing is, I think this has to call into question. As a fan, yes, you're allowed to make fun of a player. You're allowed to
Give him stick.
call them out if they're being crap. Don't make it personal. Don't be racist or stupid or anything like that.
Yeah.
respect football, respect the game.
And understand that they are people. They're gonna have reactions. But on the other side, Eric Dier needs to be better.
Yeah, you shouldn't climb into the in the NBA in the early 2000s. There's the Malice in the Palace where Ron Artest and some other guy jumped and beat up people in the stands, and that was a bad look on the NBA. And those guys got suspended for like 70 something games.
I mean, as
Dyer's
not
just
only,
gotta be
but not only
composed.
as
I mean, it's hard to be composed.
I
with
know, but
he's one of the leaders in the Spurs team because he's a very veteran player, and he's a leader in the England camp because he's been around for so long. He needs to be better off the field, and I guess technically
It's
during the
just-
games as well.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand I can be
I
sympathetic
can see
with
both
him.
sides of the argument. Yeah,
But yeah, you just don't want it. You don't want this to become a thing where Premier League players enter the stands.
don't fight people.
Same old shit, running my mouth until she busts my.
Or does he just say glory, glory, glory?
Man United.
Glory, glory, Man United.